Jesus Freak here. Now, been thinking of something that happened over the past few days, and frankly, it was my own fault. But when I actually look back at what happened, and I'm not going to say specifically what happened, it had to do with a blowout in the chat room. But I think that the underlying issue relates to a fundamental difference in opinion between me and a lot of people there. Not that caused it, but that relates to the aftermath. That I interpreted things very differently from the others there because I come from a totally different perspective. See, from my understanding, most of the people in there were of the type who believe that human beings are inherently good but maybe flawed creatures. And as such are likely to give them the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, as a Christian, I come from a system of belief that says that humans are not only not good by our very nature. Pardon the expression, but we're a bunch of evil, sadistic bastards. Who'd cause a ton of mayhem and havoc were there nothing to keep us in line. So I think, the fact that the moderators in this chat tended to be more of the forgiving sort. Keeping in mind that most people there were not only not Christian, they were opposed to Christianity. That they had a belief in the general innate goodness of humanity. And that a lot of the reason that I had a completely different way of reacting to things. Yeah, you can blame the tism, but it's not really that. It's because I have a fundamentally different understanding of the nature of mankind than they do. And you might ask, well, why was I there in the first place? Because generally, we're fighting the same fight because we're both opposed to the idea that a certain particular group of Christians with a certain set of beliefs should control a government to the exclusion of even other Christianities. Basically, the Seven Mountains type of Christian who rejects mainline Christianity, such as such as I subscribe to, and believes people like me aren't even Christians. If they start remolding the government to their in their image, that it could be a threat to me as much as it could to non-Christians. And as such, I've tended in this battle to be on the same side as them, as non-Christians. But that doesn't mean I'm not a Christian or that I don't, follow Christianity. And as a Christian, belief in the innate evil of mankind is kind of par for the course. Because without it, the whole point of Christianity, that Jesus basically had to come down to save us from ourselves because we were that evil, goes away. And so basically, it all hinges on that. And as I sometimes do, and it sometimes seems kind of scrambled because I'm autistic, that the ultimate goal here, when I made a tweet that made myself intentionally out to be the bad guy, and basically, told a version of a story that made me look like a complete jerk, did I change any of the details? No, I didn't. I just emphasized things in such a way that it made me look worse than perhaps the actual facts would have. See, humans want to believe the worst in people. That's why we love gossip. And that's a part of why I did this. See, I could have bent the truth in a positive light. Then someone could have come around and said, well, this is what really happens. And I'd be disbelieved because people are going to believe the worst version of events. Or I could do what I did. Then if someone comes around with a more charitable version of events, I'm still the one who's going to be believed. Because most people aren't going to tell a version of events that paints them in a bad light. And I'm willing to do that because I believe in the truth. Even at the cost of, making myself look bad. Because frankly, telling a story isn't what made me look bad. I made myself look bad with what I did that I was telling in the story. And I was just being frank about it. Jesus freak out.